Boothby.
Thank you, Mr Deputy Speaker. The South Australian Government seem to be living in a fantasy land when it comes to the Door Park Repatriation General Hospital in my electorate of Boothby. This is a 300-bed local hospital which employs 1,250 staff. The South Australian Government are shutting it down, selling the land, vacating the site and walking away. State Labor are very keen to talk about how the repat is old, run down and falling apart. Well, over the last decade, the federal government has given South Australia tens of millions of dollars to fund new facilities at the repat. I've paid several visits there recently. Imagine my surprise when I found myself walking through bright, modern buildings filled with some of the best hospital equipment available. The rehab facilities at the repat are world-class. Most recently, the federal government invested $40.3 million to fund 20 brand new subacute beds at the repat. They were opened with great fanfare by Jack Snelling only last year. They're state-of-the-art by anybody's measure, and they will now be closed by the state government. Residents of the southern suburbs do not want to see the repat close. More than 50,000 people have signed the petition calling on state Labor to keep it open. 44 local RSL clubs have signed a letter to the state government calling on them to keep the repat open. Veterans have been literally camped on the steps of Parliament House for the last 5 weeks. At my last listening post, I had a 91-year-old war widow make a special trip there in her wheelchair to sign the petition. However, there's a real concern that the closure of the repat will also have serious negative and long-term impacts for health services of the broader community, particularly people living in the southern suburbs. Last year, 1/4 of all orthopaedic and urological elective surgery performed in Adelaide was done at the repat. It plays an important role in performing overflow colonoscopies from Flinders, a critical step in the National Bowel Cancer Screening Program. A senior surgeon has advised that Flinders Medical Centre is already at capacity and will be unable to cope with the extra burden of ophthalmology, orthopaedic and urology work. As of half an hour ago, Flinders was running at 4 beds over their normal base capacity and the repat was only 10 beds under their own base capacity. You take out the repat, the system will not cope. The people of the southern suburbs just want the repat to stay open. It's as simple as that. I'll be out in the community gathering signatures to save the repat at all of my listening posts. I would also encourage local residents to drop into my office at 724 Marion Road, Marion, any time to sign the petition to save the repat.